Armand Duplantis, Swedish pole vaulter, 26 years old, the greatest athlete in his sport. He has already won everything: Olympic gold, world championships, Diamond League titles. But there was one more thing he had never done. One thing that only existed in his mind until March 12th, and when he finally did it, the entire sport changed. Let's find out what Mondo achieved. Armand Gustave Duplantis was born on November 10, 1999, in Lafayette, Louisiana. His father was a pole vaulter who competed at the international level. His mother was a Swedish athlete and volleyball player. Track and field was in his blood from birth. At 3 years old, Duplantis stepped up to a homemade pole vault runway his father built in their backyard. His father recognized something special in the child immediately. By age 7, Duplantis cleared 2.33 meters, a remarkable height for a child that most adults could not achieve. He was not like other kids. He was not like other teenage athletes. He was extraordinary. By age 10, he had already cleared 3.86 meters. By age 12, 3.97 meters. His progression was unlike anything the sport had ever seen. The trajectory was remarkable. The improvement was exponential. At age 15, still in high school, Duplantis won the World Youth Championships with a clearance of 5.30 meters. He was a prodigy, a phenomenon. Coaches and scouts recognized immediately that he was generational talent. The best pole vaulters in the world took notice. He chose to represent Sweden, his mother's home country. He chose to be Swedish despite being born American. This decision connected him to a nation obsessed with athletics. It shaped his identity. It defined his future. Duplantis attended Louisiana State University for 1 year in 2019, but 1 year was all he needed. He turned professional at 19 years old. He left college to chase his dreams full-time. He was ready to compete against the world's best. He was ready to change pole vaulting forever. In February 2020, Duplantis cleared 6.17 meters at the Copernicus Cup in Torun, Poland. He broke Renaud Lavilleni's world record that had stood for 6 years. He became the new standard bearer in pole vaulting at just 20 years old. He was the youngest pole vaulter in the modern era to break the world record. A week later, he improved it to 6.18 meters. Fearlessness defined his approach. Dominance shaped his mindset. He was rewriting the sport's history. The pole vaulting world was watching. His competitors realized they were up against something special, something unprecedented. In 2021, Duplantis competed at the Tokyo Olympics, delayed from 2020 due to the pandemic. The eyes of the world were upon him. Olympic gold with a clearance of 6.02 meters, that was his declaration. The pressure of the global stage fueled rather than burdened him. He proved he belonged among the greatest athletes in Olympic history. He celebrated in front of the global audience, cementing his place in athletics forever. Then in 2022, Duplantis captured his first World Championships title in Eugene, Oregon. He set a new world record of 6.21 meters on American soil. At 22 years old, he was already considered the greatest pole vaulter in history. He had accomplished more than athletes twice his age. Between August 2023 and March 2026, Duplantis won 38 consecutive competitions. He did not lose. He did not struggle. He dominated every opponent, every meet, every height. He was unstoppable. The streak became legendary. His name was synonymous with victory. During this streak, he broke the world record 9 times. 9 times. Each time he improved it by exactly 1 centimeter. He was surgical in his precision. He was calculated in his approach. He understood that gradual improvements were sustainable over the long term. He understood that consistency beat explosiveness every time. In 2024, Duplantis defended his Olympic title in Paris. He cleared 6.25 meters for another world record. The entire Stade de France stood on its feet. The world watched in amazement at his dominance. He had won his 2nd consecutive Olympic gold medal and broken his own record on the biggest stage imaginable. The level of performance was unmatched. In 2025, he won his 3rd consecutive World Championships title in Tokyo. He cleared 6.30 meters, extending his record by another centimeter. 14 world records, still climbing, still improving, still undefeated. The competition could only watch and admire. The Mondo Classic is not just any track meet, it is named after Duplantis himself. It is held at his home club, Uppsala EF, in Uppsala, Sweden. It is the most important competition of the year for him. It is where he trains daily. It is where his family watches. It is where he belongs. It is sacred ground. In the years since turning professional, Duplantis had never broken the world record at home. He had broken it everywhere else. Paris, Tokyo, Stockholm, Clermont-Ferrand, Budapest, all over the world, but not Uppsala, not at the Mondo Classic. The one place that meant the most remained untouched. On March 12th, 2026, that changed forever. Duplantis stepped onto the runway. The crowd in his home arena fell silent. He ran. He planted the pole. He soared. He cleared 6.30 meters with ease. The bar was raised to new heights. He asked for 6.31, 1 centimeter higher, 1 centimeter more, the ultimate challenge. He walked to the runway again. The arena held its breath. Every eye was on him. He ran. He planted. He launched. He cleared it on the first attempt. The crowd erupted in celebration. Duplantis broke the world record for the 15th time in his career, and he did it at home, in front of his club, in front of the people who raised him, in front of his father, his coach. The moment was immortal. Duplantis did not just wake up and clear 6.31. He trained, he planned, he calculated, he adjusted his technique with precision. Before March 12th, Duplantis increased his run-up from 20 steps to 22 steps. His father explained the adjustment. Longer run-up meant more speed control. More speed control meant better pole handling. Better pole handling meant higher clearance. Duplantis also switched to a stiffer pole, a pole that required more strength but offered more elevation. The stiffer pole demanded explosive power. It demanded perfect technique. It demanded absolute confidence. He worked in the gym on explosive power, plyometrics, core strengthening, dynamic movement. He was not just a natural athlete. He was a scientist of his own body. He understood biomechanics. He understood physics. His father, Greg Duplantis, told Swedish television after the victory, "Mondo is a good runner and 22 steps gives him the ability to use his speed." The coach was proud. The father was proud. The athlete had delivered. The family had succeeded together. Duplantis explained afterward, "This is my house. This means so much to me. Every time I am on track, I represent you. I represent me, my family, and you. I feel so proud to be able to do this in front of you." The moment was personal. The record was special. The accomplishment was profound. The New York Times has compared Duplantis to Usain Bolt in sprinting, Michael Phelps in swimming, and Simone Biles in gymnastics. He is that dominant. He is that far ahead of the competition. When Duplantis wins, he wins by nearly a foot, about 30 centimeters, in a sport where medals are often decided by centimeters. His closest competitor is Emanuel Corrales of Greece, who cleared 6.17 meters earlier this season. That is 14 centimeters behind Duplantis. 14 centimeters is an enormous gap in pole vaulting. The gap shows Duplantis' dominance.